Mark Landis grew up in Houston as a radio kid, drawing inspiration by listening to Roger W. Garrett on KRBE every day after school. Eventually, Landis said, "I want to do that," and studied broadcasting at Alvin Community College, spinning records on campus station KACC. An early career highlight came when Mark was hired as creative director at KKBQ in Houston in the late 80s. Around this time, he began a successful voiceover career as the voice of Astroworld and KPRC Television, among many other clients. And Houstonians of a certain age fondly remember Mark's weekend remotes from Club 6400 on the Richmond Strip. In 1991, Mark got his first job as program director, transforming KIOC in Beaumont. Utilizing his major market experience, Mark quickly took the station to #1 in the market. In fact, he became so popular in Beaumont that a street was named after him. After working as regional director of promotions at RCA Records, Mark returned to radio programming at San Antonio's KSRX, which later flipped to become one of the most successful Jack FM stations in the country. He was later named VP of Programming for CBS in San Antonio, presiding over Jack FM, KTFM, KTSA, and several other stations. Please welcome Mark Landis to the Texas Radio Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much for this tremendous honor. It's also kind of a double-dipping year. I was in August was inducted into the San Antonio Radio Hall of Fame as well. So, thank you, Tim. I too have to shout out to John Trepayne. He's the one that spearheaded my campaign of this year, and I think he owes me because I gave him his first music director job. I think I gave his job as music director, promotions director, part-time morning ad, but we paid him $8 an hour, so I think it was worth it. And John has been a friend for all this time, so it's been fantastic. Thank you to everyone who voted for me. Thank you to all of my fellow inductees. It's truly an honor there. I've been very fortunate and very lucky in my career. I was lucky that Bill Richards in the mid-'80s hired me at KKBQ in Houston when 93Q and the Q Zoo was just on fire as a top 40 radio station, and as the creative director and voice of the station. And I was very lucky that morphed into becoming John Landers' producer on his morning show as well, when Elliot Siegel went to go work with Shannon and then launched his big career in DC. So I spent every day learning from John Lander about radio and about programming and about music and what to do. I spent every other day also playing basketball with Guy Sepulveda, who was there all the time. And the host of names of famous people that play basketball at Landers' house is phenomenal, and how much we learned just every day from that man and all those wonderful people. One of the persons that would be at those games was also our sales manager at the time, named Roy Laughlin. Roy Laughlin was the best sales manager I've ever seen in my life. Amazing sales guy. Only sales guy in the history I've ever seen that when we went to do the Astroworld presentation, we'd actually gone down in the ratings, and he got them to spend more money after we finished the presentation to them. I've never seen that happen. But Roy left at that time to go become general manager at KISS FM Los Angeles. And Roy called me and said, "Hey, come to LA. Come be my creative director at KISS FM Los Angeles." And I said, "No, Roy, I'm going to go to Beaumont, Texas." Because I want to be a program director. And Roy just banged the phone. "Are you crazy? I'm offering you a chance to come to Hollywood to be the voice of KISS FM LA, and you're going to go to Beaumont?" Or as I like to call it, witness protection program. But it ended up what it was. And so I ended up having to buy the only recording studio in town because the studio facilities were awful, and just to do stuff. So we would work on the radio stuff all day. In the afternoon, I'd run over to the recording studio, and in Beaumont, Texas, I'm reading stuff every day for KISS FM LA. So it was kind of crazy that life ends up the way it does. But Bill Richards' roommate in college was Joel Fulcher. And Bill introduced me to Joel in the mid-'80s, and Joel was going to put on club broadcasting on the radio on the weekends, which we were doing very successfully in Houston. So I went to Joel's house in Dallas and helped him launch that. It became a really good friend of mine since the 80s. I was so happy to see that he was inducted here before his passing, and he maintained such a great friendship with me throughout the years, and was even one of my consultants at Jack FM in San Antonio. San Antonio was a great time there. We spent 12 years doing great radio in multiple formats. I'd never done Spanish radio. I was over 3 Spanish stations as well. In the ESPN station, News Talk, Top 40. I was always a Top 40 guy, but we had a good time. Dave asked me last night, you miss radio? I don't really miss radio. I miss the people in radio. I miss the friends that I made in all the different cities that I've had. And I miss the fun that you used to could have in radio. Because everybody here's of the age, you know, we used to have fun in radio. There were days you would go, I can't believe they're paying me money to do this, because this is a dream. I mean, it truly is a dream. My daughter is here. I want to thank her. She spent her childhood years and teenage years in studios with me doing homework, and had to sit through every time we're in the car and complain to me that, you know, oh, they're talking. And I said, yes, I want to hear the mechanics of what they're doing. I was just trying to explain that to her. I need to hear this. I need to hear the mechanics of how they're going in and out of this. And my wife is here also with me. My wife really doesn't know much about my career at all. She's much younger than I am. And she has now helped me launch my after radio career, which couldn't be better for us. So, you know, I lost my last radio job in 2014 in San Antonio after 12 years there, 4 ownership changes, and got blown out there. And my wife went and said, I have $1 million idea. And we started there in 2014 with her $1 million idea of a beauty brand with one product. And since 2014, she has turned that into 350 products sold in 20,000 stores in 95 countries. So we have offices in Texas, New York, London, Madrid, where we spend half our year. And she's truly brilliant and a breath of fresh air in my life. But I have to say that I'm still that little kid that listened to the radio, and I am so blown away to be in a room with the people that are in here. And last night when I got to meet Cactus, I'm like, I don't know what to say, because I'm still that little kid that is in awe of such great talent. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. Thank you for letting me live my dream of doing this very much.